All right, so just the quick spiel before we get into it. I teach through the neutral top-bottom framework. So that's my guide of intention. So that means in all states of grappling, you're either in a neutral state where nobody has an advantage standing, nobody's touching yet, or 50-50 equal positions. And the only thing we do in the neutral position, the first thing, we should be grip fighting. That's all that we're ever really doing. We got to start touching, grabbing, looking for inside position or a superior angle. That could be on your feet or that could be in leg locks. Then we have top. Top is also, I consider back to be also be top, because you have your goal when you're on top is to stay on top and keep that person down. You cannot pass anybody if you can't keep them down. You cannot pin anybody if you can't keep them down. So your goal as a top player, I don't care what you're doing, what thing you think you're working on, if you can't keep them on the ground, you cannot stay on top. Very simple. These still feel silly saying it, but that's what we're doing. If you're behind them, your goal is to stay on the back, right? And the other person's job is to not. The bottom player, from guard, side control, mount, turtle, they still have the same job. They want to become the top player through a sweep, which is guard, or reversal, which is mount, side, bottom, or get back up to a neutral position. So those three states in grappling are always happening. And then that's my guide of intention of everybody's job, if you're on top or a bottom. So we're going to take that framework. That's the guide of intention, very simple. And now me as a coach, I'm going to show you my focuses of attention, what I feel are important for both players to pay attention to in these games to get that skill of passing to acquire, which I don't even like saying acquire because that means you have it and it works all the time. We're constantly adapting to everything. When I'm passing somebody today, it might not be the same tomorrow against a different person and so on. So we're constantly adapting our skills to who we're going against. So that's why we keep everything coupled, which just means together, two people interacting, because that's what's always happening. We're not doing it disconnected, all right? So we're going to keep it all coupled together, and we're going to work some games, some situations. This is not super, you don't have to play super intense. Just use the amount of energy you need to complete the task. We are task-focused grapplers right here. This is why I'm saying you do not need technique for this. In that word, I'm using air quotes, because I'm not looking for a specific pass or solution to happen. I'm looking for the outcome of a pass to be complete. And I'm looking for conditions to be met to get them. So a lot of people on submissions, they go position before submission. I consider it conditions before submission. Trapping the shoulder, keeping the elbow, straightening the arm. Those are all conditions that need to be met to get your arm straightened and get the tap. So with all that said, we're going to start working on our passing. We're going to start playing some games and having some fun. All right, so let's have Bo over here, please. So Bo's going to lay it for me flat. So what I like to teach is from the end range, and then we're going to back it out with a lot of things. Submission, just stand up, whatever, from the end range to all the way out. Because sometimes when we start in the beginning, there's too much variability. And it's just too much confusion, especially if you're new, right? There's just too much going on, too much to think about. So we're going to take all that away and just give you one or two things to worry about. So we're going to start. I'm just going to put my ankle in. He's going to do a quarter guard or anything. Just lay flat first. Lay flat here. So he's just going to have my ankle in. We're going to have two starting spots. You're going to get to decide how you start each one. You're going to do different time. I'm going to have my knee on this side, and then I'm going to have my knee on this side. But Bo's going to be super nice to me, and he's going to give me double underhooks right here. But the rule of this here, I cannot connect my hands together, okay? So when you're on top here, we are not connecting our hands. We are not connecting our hands. You need to learn to play with unconnected hands for this, okay? So no matter where you start, you can decide, change each, after each win or reset, the person's just going to switch. So my job as the top player in intention is to keep him down. So my first thing I priority is constantly keep him down. I don't care if I don't get the pass. If I can't hold him down, I cannot pass it, okay? So that's my main goal, the overarching intention. Now my focus of attention here, I got to keep those elbows away. I'll start in double underhooks. And I am just going to try to free my foot while keeping him down to free my foot to complete a pass. It could be any way you want. I don't care what you do. It doesn't matter. But after your foot is free, you need to keep him down for 3 seconds. You need to keep his shoulders on the mat. His job is when his foot is free, he needs to get up to his shoulder and try to get to turtle. Okay? That's all he's going to do. He's not going to stand all the way up. We're just going to make it so I think we have a problem in jiu-jitsu is when people pass, they lay flat on their back and they just defend like this and they accept being on the bot. And then that makes me feel like I can hold people down because this guy's really not fighting. When you go against somebody who really wants to get up, it's really hard to hold somebody down. So let's always make that part of a habit when we pass. We have to finish the pass. You ever get through passes and then they just push off and get up? You're like, well, I got that pass. No, you didn't because you didn't keep them down. You have to maintain that. So we're just going to start here and we're just going to go nice and smooth. All right, go. He's going to hold out to that foot as long as he can in this position. And I'm going to use my feet, my head, anything I can to fit. Now I got to hold it 1, 2, 3. Pro wrestler. You can do 1, 2, 3 if you want. Okay? So if I start doing this and I need to get my foot free and I get it free and he's got to immediately start going, if I can't hold him down, I lost the pass. Okay? So Bo's going to give it to me. Start any way you want. Okay, ready to go. He's trying to free his foot. He's got to complete the task. I'm out. Okay? That's it. He did not do his job of holding me down. I have to fight. We are in a grappling sport. You have to go against the other person. They are trying to hold you down. What's good for me is bad for him. What's bad for me is good for him. Really simple. All right? Did everybody got the game?
So you said you can't grab your hands.
Grab him. You can grab him, hook, whatever. You just can't lock your hands together. I want you to learn to play open because I have my other class which showed something about this. This is going to lead to other things. All right? And it just makes it easier. It makes it evens up the game a little bit. So it's not just you're in a death lock and hold a person. You're trying to learn to play open hands and kind of do stuff. Right?
Do you switch after?
Yep, after every win or reset, switch. And then if you started with your leg on this side, then start it on the other side. All right? Real simple. On 3, overhead clap. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Okay. So the reason I did it it's pretty easy to get your foot free eventually, right? You got chest to chest. You're holding them down. You're just holding on your foot. And then once the pass is done, you're not accepting it. Okay? So you have to work to hold that person down. Right? Anybody have to really work to hold somebody down? It's hard to stop somebody to get in turtle, right? That's why all these turtle players are tough sometimes, and these wrestlers get up to turtle. So now what we're going to have Bo in here. Okay, we're going to take it. Now we're going to back it up. The alternate title of this class is Back That Pass Up. So, but, I don't know if we got picked. So now we're going to do, since I had just the ankle and the knee free, now I'm going to take that knee and put it in. Okay? So he just has a lock right here. This is all he's playing. Double unders because he's nice. Now I'll give you a little extra freedom too. If you want, you could go double unders. You could go head and arm, but you still can't lock your hands. If you want to, whatever, you could do this side. Everybody says don't pass to that side. But see what happens when you do it. The fails are important. Like we're constantly teaching what's the most perfect thing to do in every scenario. It's not real when people are really grappling and fighting each other. You see stuff all the time that doesn't supposed to work, that does work. If it's done enough and the conditions are met, it's going to happen, right? You can end up in a head and arm this way. So we're going to give it, you can start here, you can start here, you can start here. But I want you to at least have something. If you start right here, then he's just going to push you away. And we're going to defeat the purpose of this here. So this is going to get a little harder for you because now you have to free your knee and then you have to free your foot. But you were already at the free foot. We were already at the free foot portion. So if I was in a normal class, we would spend a little more time on that. So now, once we get back to that free foot portion, we've already done that a bunch and you learned how to pass already. You got those free wins that helps people build up that, oh, I got by, I got to pass. Okay? Belt level doesn't matter as much in this scenario when it's so tight. So we're going to start here in this position. So now any way I can get that knee free, whatever you know or whatever you don't know, I don't care. But if I start going up real high in this and he's able to get his hooks in or get to close guard, I've lost that ability to do it. So I have not kept that pressure on him. So now his job here, since he's in this position and you got this here, if he could push you all the way out and get his knee up in front of you, he wins. He's got the reset. It's a little easier. So I need to be a little more stingy with this. Go. I need to keep him down. One, two, three. All right? That's real work. I'm already sweating. All right. That's kind of, I sweat anyway, so whatever. I am liquid Rob, so it just happens. All right, so did everybody understand the game?
Question.
Once I get the pass, you're still trying to get the turtle, okay? But if they push you all the way out and they get the knees in front of you or the hooks in, they establish a real guard, not flattened out half, then it's a reset for them. So now he's getting his guard back. Now he's starting to learn guard recovery. I'm passing and he's learning guard recovery at the same time. All right?
So if he gets his knees in, but you still have the underhooks, are you resetting?
If you're still chest to chest in there and I'll give you a second or two to play with it to get back in there. So we keep the action going live. But if you're stalling out and you got underhooks and you're doing nothing with it, hey, let's reset. We're all adults here. All right? We'll just reset back out. But if you keep that chest to chest and that pressure going, you can start forcing yourself back in, go for it. All right? So everybody got it? All right, 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Everybody feeling comfortable with this? Are we staying on task? The key to this, if you're going to be in a class, constraint-led approach style class, or start coaching this way, you need to stay on task. The tasks are developed by the coaches because that's what we're trying to get certain things, and whatever emerges, but we want the goals, the outcome to end up right. So if you're just doing stuff that's not staying on task, you're just kind of positional sparring and rolling and whatever, and you're just doing stuff you kind of already know, right? We're trying to put you, constrain you, which is just a guide. It's just the word constraint kind of comes off negative connotation, but it's just a guide, right? I'm just bringing down that search space very small to do that. So we're doing that that's like the classic, quarter guard, finishing the pass. Those are good wins, right? How many times have you been stuck in half guard? The goal is if you've got those underhooks, you got to free that knee. I don't care about all the other moves, switching this way, switching that way. If you can't maintain them, hold them down. You're not going to pass the guard. So now we're going to give some extra ideas and things to look at. So let's say something like body lock passing, all right? Or something in that way. So say we have Bo here. So there's only a couple of things that really happen when we're body lock passing. It's pretty much you have to get the feet clear and you have to pass the knees. That's literally all guard passing is. You pass the knees, you pass the feet, you pass the knees, you could control on the hips and the upper body, you complete the pass. They're all the same, all right? Knee slides, whatever. So we're going to take something like body lock passing, all right? So what he's going to do, he's going to be nice, so we're going to start at that end range again, right? He's going to take his 2 feet and he's going to have them outside my hip here in this position with his shin across the belly. And I'm going to have my hands down here. For this, I'm not going to have the hands locked yet because that's going to be an additional task if you want it. But we're going to play with open hands here and just locking the hips. You can have just the hips locked and the arm under, or you can also have the bottom arm also, okay? So all I need to do is maintain chest to chest and hold him down. That's the job, right? If I can't hold him down, if I can't remain on top, I can't pass his guard. So my job is to do all that, holding him down and pass his bottom knee to finish the chest to chest and then pin him down for 3 seconds. Okay? His job is here and the same, but now he has the task of has the ability to push me back all the way out, get his back off the mat. He has to get his back off the mat, and then that's it. If he stands up, he gets a bonus point, he gets to run around. But if not, he can just stay there and you push him all the way out. Okay? We're not doing closed guard for this one. Okay? He can't get the closed guard. We can add that later.
Butterfly.
What?
Butterfly.
Yeah, butterfly. Get the butterfly, push all the way out, get you off of the shins and everything. Okay? So we're going to start here. All right, ready to go. Anyway, I can do it. He's trying to get his stuff back in. I need to beat that by me. Beautiful. He's out. He stopped my body lock pass. All right? That's all we're doing. Super simple. If we start moving to the other side and you go the other way, that's fine. But if he starts getting his hooks in and pushes it and gets his back off the mat, he won. Because I have to keep his back on the mat for this passing to be effective. Okay? That's just an idea of it. So, very simple again. Here, figure out that I lost, which is great. The fails are great, because now I need to know what I need to do now. More. His feet got sneaky and got inside. So maybe that means I need to push in a little more. Or turn my hip. Whatever you're going to kind of self-organize too. We all have different body types, right? But the function remains the same. All right, so ready? Go. And then I'll also add, if I get a chance to lock my hands, I can. Now, look, I got my leg lay. Oh, no, I'm going to get by that hip. Now I got to keep him down. I got to keep him down. Oh, got out. Good. I didn't get the back. This time I got by the knee, but then I didn't stay on top. You know, right? It's tough. And even, I don't care, sometimes black belt, going against the blue belt, this and that. This is a little harder for them, you know, because we're taking away all that variability, all that crazy extra stuff that happens that the black belt knows a lot of stuff about. But if we put them in a small space, it makes it much easier. It's like we're making the grappling so small. What's the smallest grappling game you could probably play? Thumb wrestling. Good, you took my classes for. So here, we take it down. It doesn't matter if I'm a black belt or whatever. It's just smaller versions of it, right? You can play against teens and all that stuff. So we're just shrinking it. Then we're doing hand fighting and all that other stuff. So has everybody got the game? All right, 1, 2, 3. All right, so anybody getting a little tired? A little tired, right? That's what's gonna happen when we train live, right? Sometimes you take it, you're like, hey man, bro, I was just training for an hour and a half. We probably did 15 minutes of rolling at the end. And then you did the warm up and the shrimp and 40 minutes of listening to your coach, you know, wax poetically about a technique, whatever. But no, the live training counts, right? It's a little hard because we're going. But isn't it funny? It's time, everybody's tired, but then you're like, all right, open mat, and then everybody's energy fires back up. That's the power of the live training, and it's fun, all right? So now we're gonna just go real quick. I'm just gonna go through this real quick with one more game, but skip one, just so we can get to a couple other different things of passing, just so we can show it everywhere. Okay, so what I would do now here, I would take this, and then I would put both hooks in and start them here. So now my job is what? Because we're backing it up. It was just beat the knee before because I gave you the feet for free. Now I'm putting the feet back in there. Now you have to learn how to hold them down and keep their feet in. I mean, get around their feet. So I'd have to learn just like how we set it up here. Now I have to figure out ways to get around something. I don't care how you do it. You're going to do it anyway because that's your task. And you have to play in that. And you're like, I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it. Well, you got to keep doing it. All right? They're not just going to give you it for nothing, right? Good for me, bad for him. You know, same thing. So what we're going to do here, instead of, we're going to skip that step because you kind of played the game already. But now he's going to sit up to full butterfly with his hands out here, but he's going to be leaning forward. We're going to start in here. Our job now is we are going to grip fight. Grip fight, and he's going to just try to keep pushing forward and not let me put his back on the mat and get my hands around under his waist or at least one arm under. So we're going to stay here. We're going to grip fight any way we can. He can't win this game. It's going to be continuous for him. My job is here is what I can do to get his underneath the hook and then try to keep his back. He's got to keep the hooks on the inside, keep his back on the neck, keep him down. Good. He's still fighting. We're working it. Boom. All right, good. Now I need to pass that foot, and then you can continue on to the game. So, because we already been there. We already at the knee passing part. We skipped over the feet part, but you guys, we can just pretend that we did it. And then now we're going to go in here. So we're going to start here. So now you're doing it. My feet are staying on the inside. I'm not looking for anything else. I'm leaning forward. So if I start like this, he's just going to push me over, and it's not going to work. Here, we're fighting. Fighting, he's looking to get underneath, so I better have some good head positioning, because that helps. Well, my hands are working, my feet. Now as it starts going down, he gets me here and keeps my back on the mat. You can reset here if you want, or continue on the pass. It's up to you. Play at your own discretion for this class. All right, for this session. Has everybody got it? Pretty simple. Not trying to sleep at all. All right, until he gets his back on the mat. If you continue playing, if I flip him over and he loses it, then that's a sweep or whatever. He falls over. He has to learn to balance. Everything mostly is about balancing grappling. All right?
Do you want the top player to stay as low as possible, or is he supposed to move?
Well, if I back up and then he's just going to, you got to stay in that mix. All right? You have to keep continuously going forward to get them down. Yeah, because if I'm the top player in this position and we're here and I start doing this, now he stands. I can't pass his guard anymore.
I mean, standing up. And
we could actually, let's add that. All right? If that person, that's a rule I usually add on. If he could get back to his feet, then that's a win for him because you didn't take your job. So we're here. And if I'm like, man, this is really hard to get this, I'm going to get tricky. I'm like, oh, man, I lost it because now I can't pass it because guess what? I failed being the top player. All right? So that's a good one. So that's what, with coaching in this way, you'll run a game. It may not work out, or you're kind of watching the room because everybody's different. We're not all cookie-cutter grapplers. And then I go, and you're looking around like, all right, that person's just standing up out of there. All right, that's a new win condition here. You've got to make that person stay on top. All right? That's always a condition in that intention. What's the bottom person's player goal? Become the top player and get back to neutral. If he can get back to neutral, he wins. All right? So you're going to keep that pressure forward. Everybody got it? 1, 2, 3. All right, how we feeling? Pretty good? Time? Oh, good. Good. That's what grappling is, right? Getting tired. That's why we got to work on our conditioning. And this is another bonus of if you're in a CLA type class or a gym, your conditioning gets really good, right? Conditioning is part of this sport, okay? You want to be able to control your breath. There's another constraint I heard of. I haven't used it yet. I don't know if it was Preet or somebody else that brought it up before, somebody else on another forum. You can only breathe through your nose. So that makes you dial it down. And if you start, you gotta stop. That means you're training too hard. All right? You could probably try some heart rate monitor stuff, really, go crazy. But if you want, you could try it with without breathing through your mouth. You could try that. That could be fun to addition that in. You could put that in anywhere. I do that when I'm like doing zone 2 running and all that stuff. I'm just trying to breathe through because I know if I'm like, oh, I got to bring it down. You got to dial it down, right? You got to learn to auto-regulate. You got to learn how to use as much energy as possible. If not, you're just going to gas out, and then you're going to get tooled up. All right. So now we're going to make it a little fun. We're going to take it out and show how could you do something like tripod passing, so we could put some constraints and set it, and let's see how it works out. It's usually pretty fun. Let's have go here. So, and this is actually more fun for me because a lot of people are going to fall over, so that's always fun. So we're going to start here. He's going to have to maintain his hooks on the inside of your body. Okay, he's got the inside position here. I'm going to have the double unders in this position. Remember, I cannot lock my hands, and I'm going to start with a head on the mat. Okay, in this position. My knees cannot touch the mat. Okay, my knees have to stay off the mat. He's trying to maintain hooks on the inside and off balance me if he gets my hips on the mat or if I flip over and my back on the mat. But I want to try to keep my head posted on the mat. It's okay if your head starts posting here or there or pressure forward, and you got to try to maintain these underhooks. If he gets them out, it's okay. You just keep searching for them, all right? Okay, you're not allowed to use your hands on their legs yet. We're going to make it hard for you, okay? So we have to have our knees off the mat. We can't use our hands on our legs. I want them posting underneath the mat. And I want you to use your head as a post also. And his job is to flip you over, put your hip on the mat while keeping the hooks inside. Close guard is taken away from this, okay?
I can't use my hand to block his hand.
You're just under here. Yeah, it'll start going. And as you start playing, we'll figure out what we're doing. I'm still using them here. I'm using these elbows. I'm using his head. Now, I want to keep leaning forward as much as possible. And I just want to use my legs any way I can and balance on my head if I can. Keep your hips high, and you're going to try to pass through his legs. Any way you can organize your legs. All right?
Can the bottom person use their hand?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. So we're going to start here. Head on the mat, staying high. You can't do this. That's a loss. All right, ready, go. I all have to stay in tight, and I'm trying to use my legs any way I can to stay above him and get to the pass. Okay? If I get floated over and he flips me over my head, keep going. I lost. Okay? You will get flipped. But if you keep your forehead on the mat and you start getting your hips high, you'll start being able to balance on your head. Okay? And your hands. All right? Is everybody comfortable with that? It's fun. And if you get flipped over, it's all right. You just reset and you go again. Okay? And they're trying to, and if they could push you all the way back out and your knees hit the mat or whatever, or you fall, but I just want you to stay with those hooks on the inside. He's here, nice and high, nice and high. It's where the higher you get, the better it is. Okay? And now he's going to use his feet, shins, knees, any way he can while I'm trying to move him over. And move him out and over. Oh, nice. Good job. He's taking my class before. All right? Everybody got it? 1, 2, 3. Feel a little weird? Feel a little different? But obviously it's some beautiful stuff. Good leg work. Nice leg work. I see all this type of stuff. Now, if you took my class Tuesday, the pinning stuff with the shin riding and all that stuff, it's already starting to meld together, right? Riding those legs, all that stuff. It just all goes together, right? Because they start pushing you up and over and your shins are working. So now we're going to make it so we turn down. So in the constraint-led approach, there's 4 principles. There's session and tension, which we both have in tension. That's great. Constraint to afford. That just means guide for opportunities. And that's what we did. We put you in those small constraints. So that's certain things are going to come out. And then we have representative learning design. We want to make it look like actual grappling. So that dial, as I turn it down more, where it doesn't look as much like normal stuff, it highlights other things. So as a coach, I'm playing with that representativeness, where I don't allow you to use your hands on your legs, all right? So it makes you use your legs more because I took away your hands. You want to push and push and push, but no, you just got to use your legs. So all this stuff with your legs started happening. And then repetition without repetition is the 4th principle. We're just constantly doing repetitions without repetition. There is no set rep, all right? Because no rep is ever done the same, right? There's always a little change, right? So go again. So now we're going to turn that representativeness up a little more to help the top player instead of getting flipped around a lot. Same stuff, but here, we're going to start in here. Now you can use only one hand at a time to work on the leg, to help push your leg around, okay? You still can't put your knees on the mat, all right? Now, we could do this, and I would do that, and then I'm going to add one more thing. He has another win condition, is if he gets the close guard, he wins. Because what's going to happen is you're going to start playing, and then whoop, they're going to put a close guard on you. So that means you're going to have to do something to have them not put the close guard on. I'm kind of adding a little extra steps for you just so you get a full taste of what's going on. So now we're in this position. I can only use one hand at a time on a leg to pass. So I can't just do this. I have to have something working. And now if he can get the close guard or sweep me over, he wins. All right, ready, go. So if my hips start getting loosey-goosey, I lost, because this happens a lot when we're playing body lock, tossing, tripod, and all these different passes. Oh, man, I'm stuck in close guard. Now I got to work out of there. So now I better be super diligent in keeping those. Now I'm making my hooks. Now I'm staying nice. Now I'm using the leg. Oh, now we got through one leg. Oh, now we're doing shin rides. Now we're doing this. And now we're pinning. All right? That's how it's going to look.
So once you pass one leg, you can put that in on the ground?
Yeah, you're going through the finishing the pass thing. You're taking away that hook. And now you're really settling in. And then still add the pin them to the mat, because we always want to make it real. You know, UFC, as real as it gets. That used to be a motto. So that's what we want to do. We want to keep staying in that position. So has everybody got that? Now they got the close guard win, and now I could use one hand. Okay? But I still want head on the mat and still having an underhook. Okay? If you can. I want you to hunt that. That's your attention. When other game, Points for the Soul, when we were playing that the other time, we played that game elbows away. This is what we're always doing. The majority of grappling is taking that elbow space and keeping it away. All right? We could play that everywhere. So that's what's just going to happen. So we're going to start here. Go in that position. Really, really try to get close guard, because he has to make it real for me. Okay? You ready? Go. I don't want that. I got to keep it nice. I'm trying to get back in that position. Good. Push me all the way out. Good. We won. That's a struggle. All right? The struggle bus is good. All right? 1, 2, 3. That was looking really good, actually. I love doing the high tripod stuff to throw it in, because a lot of people don't really train like that. And they think, we think these things in grappling are like really advanced, And when we look at the conditions that need to be met, advanced stuff gets very simple after that, right? It's super simple stuff when you're thinking about it. If I could just beat a foot, if I could get by the knee, if I could get to your hips, I've done the pass. Now, I was watching some things develop, and if you noticed, a couple of people have done this. So say we have Bo here. We started in the high tripod stuff. Just so you see how everything, I like to say I'm like that guy with the red stuff behind him, the detective board. Everything's connected. Because that's what it is. That's all we're doing. How much we're connected together. Of course, everything's connected. All right? So we're in here. We're starting in this position. We have our task of that. And now we use that hand to beat the knee over here. And then we start getting down to this. And he starts putting the foot back in. Now we consolidate. Now we're in that kind of body lock type passing again that we've already played. I know now I've already got back that. What I have to do, beat that bottom knee. like every type of passing ever. Now I have to beat that bottom knee. Any way I can to beat that bottom. If he pushes me back out, we're back into that again. Now I'm looking on this side. Now I beat that bottom knee and I'm just holding him here. I got the open elbows. Now if he took my points for the soul class, I'm keeping that foot off the mat. That kind of takes stuff away. Now I'm adding this shin riding stuff. He pushes me away. Push. Oh, now I've got to keep him down with those open hands. Now my shins are still riding. Now I'm still controlling. Now I'm going to really pin this dude, right? This is where the points for the soul come in because I don't have a pass yet, but he doesn't like this. This is good for my soul. So I'm moving him nice and tight. Now I'm back into this. I'm in a high tripod here. You push me off. All right, good. Now we take him down, then we take the free pass. All right? It all starts coming together. But all I was doing was completing tasks along the way. Right? That's all we're ever doing when we're grappling. So if you don't train at a gym that trains like this, here's the neat part. You don't have to. Because every time you roll live, positional sparring, open mat, if you understand what your goals are in those things, where your attention is, put yourself in when you get in those positions, constantly roll with those tasks in mind. Don't, not trying to say don't ever think of technique, blah, blah, blah. But think about what you need to do to get by that person. What do you need to do? Okay, so if Bo's sitting here and he's in butterfly guard here in this position. If I'm out here, outside passing really shouldn't exist because if I start playing on the outside here and he just stands up, I didn't get it. I have to do something. Okay, now I'm in here. I have to hand fight, start standing up. I need to keep him down first. Now I have him on the mat. Now he's got those hooks in. Now I need to know what I need to do. I need to get by these knees. I can do anything I want. I'm looking for underhooks. I'm getting through these. He's pushing me off because he has his task too. We're both doing the same thing. And I'm just staying heavy. What the go? We're going through here. What passes did I just do? There was like 4 or 5 different ones. But they were just used to get by what I need to get by to complete the pass. So when you start training like this, you're constantly completing tasks along the way. So I don't care who you're training against, what you're going at, that's what you're doing, all right? And you could take this anywhere. You could do it to super complicated stuff like this is a bonus. Say we're doing X guard, all right? So here, I'm standing up. I just start people there, all right? Very simple to start somebody in a position. Just tell them I want you to keep your hooks connected, 2 hooks on the leg. You can start here, you can start here, any way you want in this position. So my job is to maintain. All he's going to do, I'm going to take all this stuff away. All he has to do is keep trying to get back to the center. If his hands get to the mat, get back to the center. Don't remove the hooks. If his hips hit the mat, try to get back up to the center. And all I'm going to do is just move him around as any way I can to get his hands to the mat or his hips to the mat. And that's all we're doing. He's not trying to escape yet because he's going to start learning how to pass after this, but I'm playing the guard right now. So we go, he's just going to try to stay up, and I just have to move him around any way I can to get those hands to touch the mat. He's got to get back to the center. All right, now I'm trying to get his hips to the mat. Now I'm pulling him in and over, and we're just learning balance. Boom, he comes back up because balance is important, all right? You can do all the balance ball stuff, but until somebody's trying to move you, like ball no hit back, right? You're just balancing on it. Is it going to transfer to this? I don't know. So then we come and play again some more. Now I'm in this position. Now I'm going to start having, Bo needs to try to remove hooks, and I need to have my hooks inside his legs. Ready? While I'm still off balance. Let's go. So now he's got to counter all this, moving it. So now if he removes a foot, guess what I do? I need to get it back in. Now we're getting back in. Now I can add grabbing stuff, trying to up down. If I get his hands to the mat, then we can always stand up. And now we just did a wrestle up, all right? Because I have the ability, if I get his hands to the mat, then I wrestle up. If I get his hips to the mat, then I come on top. And then what do we have to do when we complete a sweep? You have to be on top. So if I knock his hips to the mat, this is not a sweep yet. And if you look at my scramble stuff, monitoring the ankles makes people not be able to stand up. So he hits the mat, and when people let go and they do this, oh, I swept him. No, you didn't. He was able to get up. So we play games. If I get his hips to the mat on this side, I have to get up and monitor the ankles and keep him down. Now I can pack. Now I got the sweep. All right? Does that make sense? because that's what we're kind of doing. Where's our focus of attention going to be? That was just a little bonus side thing, just to show you where you can play everywhere. Because as I'm working guard, he's working passive. He's learning how to be balanced, which is so important. And I'm working how to get, I can have tasks of getting under more, getting hands to the mat, getting hips to the mat. Can I get 2 ankles? You could be so creative with each different way. And all these different, just one more bonus thing. He was here. I was playing with one of my students, teenager, never did this before. And we were playing, and my job was just stay on top. And I told him to have hooks monitor the back of the legs any way he can. And he had my hand, and he moved my leg like this, and then he put his shins behind me. And then he swept me like that, or took my back. I'm like, this kid is like 6 months training, and he's never did it. But he just stayed on task. And that's a move you'll see like on the Mendes Brother DVD. Pass it over, monitor shins. These kids are doing it just for that. And then when you do it and you actually learn it, you do it yourself and you feel like you've discovered it, that sticks because it has some emotional connection to it, right? Things that are bad, you remember. Things that are good, you also remember. So that's kind of what we're doing here. I then just saying, oh, I can just shortcut their learning. You're kind of robbing them of their learning, right? Because we just don't train one day and then now I know jiu-jitsu in a week. You're going to come back multiple times, months, year, whatever, and then that's how you're going to constantly build it. The practice room is for practice. So we're going to just be constantly practicing grappling. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Thank you very much.